This nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom.
Of freedom.
This nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom.
This nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom.
This nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom.
This nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom.
This nation, under God, the nation shall have a new birth of freedom.
Sal and Eve. I thought I'd tell y'all a little story about how we lost our power. There was a time and a place when we all had knowledge, when we all had wisdom, because we would all sit under this very hunter's moon right here, the last full moon in October, which would be tomorrow night. And we would sit under it, and we would have feasts, and we would have fires, and we would honor the dead, and the dead would come back and talk to us. And where they had lived their whole life and learned things and grown great wisdom of being alive, when they crossed through the veil, when they crossed the river, they got the knowledge of the universe. But they couldn't relate that knowledge to us because, of course, they're dead. So once a year, under that very full moon that I just showed you, in which it'll be tomorrow night, the veil is very thin. The waters of the river are very shallow and have no current. And if you honor the dead, as I said, just build a fire, put a plate of food out, let them know that you love them and miss them, and they can come back. But see, centuries and centuries and centuries ago, kings became legends, and legends became power. Power became money, and money beget evil. And people saw this, and they knew this. And a king could speak, and a king could say this, and a king could say that, and this is the way the world is, and this is the way the law should be. And the people would say, that sounds good, but what's the truth? What's the truth? And they could always come to Samhain. They could always get under the hunter's moon and ask the dead by honoring the dead. And the dead would tell them the king was lying. So many, many kings lost many, many kingdoms. And as the centuries passed, they learned to not teach of the Samhain. They learned not to teach of honoring the dead. And this is an ancient practice across the whole entire planet, y'all. The whole entire planet. From the original civilization, the Hans dynasty, the Sumerians, the Native Americans, the pagans, the Europeans, the Caucasians, they all used to honor the dead, to seek knowledge, to find out more than they could find out in this life. But they stole that from us. And as it went by, they changed the name and they called it Halloween. And they made it a festival, and they made the dark scary, the woods, the mother evil, the women and the men, especially the women that would even speak of earth magic or earth medicine or earth knowledge, were burned alive or hung or drowned. And they made it fearful to learn. It made it fearful to speak to the serpent. It made it fearful to speak to the dead. They made the dead seem scary. And as time goes forward, they do this more and more and more and more. Now it's zombies and Walking Dead and Making You Dead and Freddy and Jason and the Wolfman and Frankenstein. All the things, the undead being evil. When the undead is what you were going to become. Because the only thing that you were ever guaranteed on this earth was to die. And what you go and learn when you cross the river, once you go and learn when you go through the veil, you can speak back to the people that you loved, because they can honor you by giving you food, by giving you fire, by asking you to come. But they made this all fear-laden. They called it paganism. They called it witchcraft. They called it Satan. They called it Lucifer. And they made you afraid to seek knowledge. The knowledge has always been there. The knowledge will always be there. But you have to seek it. And tomorrow night, guess what? You can find out almost anything you want to know. And it's not a matter of belief. As I said, this has been practiced by every single religion, belief system all around the planet. It's as old as man because we are connected through soul and spirit just as we are connected through DNA. And they even steal that from us. They have us chasing bloodlines and chasing tails and chasing something that's not us. Because they always want you to see something other than yourself. They always want you to be something besides yourself. Because they fear you being you. They fear you being with your tribe, with people that know, with people that understand. They fear you understanding, because understanding comes love, and they fear love most of all. They fear love more than knowledge. So look back at the centuries and centuries that we've been on this planet. Look at how the answers to all of our questions have always lied right inside of us. The power is inside of you, brother. The power is inside of you, sister. You own you. For there are no kings. There are lesser men that hide behind golden walls. And they scoff at you because they are the real witches. They are the real evil. They are the real vampires and bloodsuckers of this world. So think about that tonight. And think about it while you get up under this moon. Just go outside. It's right over your head. And tomorrow night, the light from that moon will make the veil, just the way things go, the whole physics of the universe with the planet being involved, one small speck of it. This veil drops and you can see all the other life beings and beings of light. And you may not see them, but you'll feel them. And you may not hear them out loud, but they will whisper in your ear. And they will answer anything you ask because they love you. And they know that we are on a path of destruction. They know we lead ourselves to ruin. They know that we destroy our only life-giving planet. And they'll tell you. You don't have to listen to me. Find out for yourself. But that's the story of how you lost your power, because they stole knowledge, and they stole where we seek knowledge from. But they didn't steal it and hide it away in a room, in a book, in a vault. They closed your mind. They closed your mind's eye. And that's how they steal your power. They lie to you. They trap your mind. Your mind is everything, and what you think you will become. So become what you want to be. Don't look in the box. Look outside the box. Don't look in the group. Look to your tribe. Don't look to leaders. Look to elders and ask the dead, because the dead will tell you all you need to know. I say this out of love, but I say it out of wisdom, because I do this every year. I do this every year. I seek that knowledge, and I seek it from the ones that know. Peace. Namaste. I love you, and don't live in fear.